So welcome back to another episode of Sanders Aquatics. Today is a great day. I have found a fish I've been looking for a while, and it's going to be one of my hardest breeding challenges I've taken on so far. But check these guys out. So we're going to do a little spotlight on these guys. If you haven't ever seen them, we'll give you some fun details on these. Literally just got home from the pet store with these guys here. And these are African butterfly fish. If you know nothing about these guys, I'll teach you a whole bunch. I've had them in the past, and I have not been able to find them for a very, very long time. And it's been on my breeding radar because I knew it was going to be a challenge. And I like a good challenge. So we're going to see what we can do with these. We're going to need to get a specialty tank set up for these guys. I'm even halfway entertaining setting something up outside so that they got plenty of live food to go to. But I did verify with the folks at the pet store before I bought them that they are indeed off of live food, but that is definitely their favorites. They love any kind of bugs and everything. So I'm going to get these guys in this little bucket right here so you can get a real good look at them. And then we're going to get them acclimated to the tank. We're going to, for short term, get them in our big tank with our archerfish and our bushfish and some of our gouramis. I don't think anybody's going to mess with them because these guys are 100% a topwater fish. The only one I might have to keep an eye on, I think, is going to be our bushfish. If you haven't seen those guys, you ought to go back and watch our spotlight on them. They're pretty cool too. But man, look how cool these guys are. You get a shot in over at the top. Man, look how pretty they are. Don't they just look like butterflies floating to the water? Man, that's a cool fish. So a little bit about these guys. So we intentionally got ourselves two boys and two girls to go through and try to breed. So what you're looking for when you're trying to sex these guys is the anal fin on them. The male is going to be almost a two-piece fin. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way and a puppy dog at the same time, see if there's enough water in here to be able to identify. So this one right here for sure is a male. If you see the anal fin, you see how it's split. Got one real long one. You got one that's kind of short. So the female, if you look at the one back here in the back right behind him, that is a female. That anal fin is one solid fin. There's no split in it. There's no deviations in it. So that is your boy and that is your girl. So we have two boys and two girls, and we're going to make an attempt to go through and get these guys to breed. So a little bit about keeping these guys. They are a very good predator. They're not mean. They're not aggressive. There's nothing crazy about these guys, but if it fits in their mouth, they're going to eat it, and they can eat a lot bigger fish than what you ever imagined that they can eat. So be very, very careful with what you put them with. Tank mates should be something larger, something that is a little slower eater. Like these guys in the tank that I'm going to put them in, I'm going to have to go through and pay attention and especially feed these guys because there's a lot of fish that are a lot faster than they are, and they're going to take the food from them if I don't specifically feed these guys directly. But I'm going to eventually go through and get a tank set up just for them so that we can go through and attempt to breed them. Like I said, I'm even entertaining maybe an outside idea. I don't like that idea, but I might do it because it seems cool and I've never done it. But when you're setting up a tank for them, especially to breed, you want high plant coverage across the top, water sprayed, any kind of like lily, anything that's going to cover the top of the tank, though, it gives them a little peace of mind. Slow moving waters, nothing fast. That they can't tolerate a real high flow rate of water. Breeding, the way these guys breed, they actually go through and release their eggs. The female releases eggs and the male fertilizes them, and the eggs float and they gather up in the plants. Once they get to that point, you got to go through and either separate the adults from the eggs or the eggs from the adults, whichever way you want to go. I've never done this. I've done a lot of reading on it. I've kept these guys in the past, and if you do find some, the most important question you need to ask is what they are feeding them. These guys, they were actually feeding them just frozen krill or not frozen, but freeze-dried krill, and they're taking to it and eating it. Never fed anything. I mean, it just goes there and it's going to float at the top. These guys are going to be able to go there and get it. Real meaty source of food. These guys are heavy predators. They are known to jump. So if you're going to go through and you're going to keep them in a tank, make sure you got a good lid. The last one I had, I sadly lost because I left the lid off and he did a 4-foot leap to the ground and I never saw him. It stinks, but it is what it is. It's part of it. Part of it. I made a mistake. Little fishy guy lost his life, but it happens. But I'm prepared for them. I'm going to go through and try to breed these guys. Like I said, I think it's going to be the hardest task of my fish breeding so far, but I'm excited. Really, really cool fish. Size-wise, they get to be about 5 to 6 inches. Nothing crazy. These guys are about 3 to 4 inches is what these guys are right now. They should be more than big enough to go through and breed. I'm probably going to set them up a 40 breeder, and I'm going to lower the tank water down till it's probably about 5 or 6 inches. They don't need much to go through and breed, and hopefully that's going to go through and trigger them. You want a little warmer water, somewhere between 82 and 84 degrees is supposed to be what it's going to be. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of success with this. If you've never had these guys, they're awesome fish to watch. They're going to stay at the top of the tank. They are not going to leave the top of the tank unless they get really hungry, and then they may come down after some other food. But a lot of times the hardest thing with these guys is getting them to eat. Live foods that are at the top of the tank are hard to come across sometimes. But if they've already got them broke, it's perfect for me. When we breed them, it's going to be a trick because trying to get those babies fed is going to be real, real tricky. But another one last look at these guys. Look how awesome they are. Just hanging out in there. Man, is that a cool fish or what? Just hanging out. They should do just fine together until they get to the point that they go through and they spawn. That is when they're going to become a little bit more aggressive. But these guys they're going to spawn, or they're going to mate. Like some of your other fish, they're going to go through and mate for life. Tess has gotten to see the new fish. She's really excited. You see the fish in there, girl? She's the only dog we have. We got 3 different dogs, and she's the only one that actually watches the fish. Sometimes she makes me nervous. I think she watches them a little too close. Like she's drooling. You're not drooling, are you? But these guys are cool fish. If you have any questions on them, you've ever bred them, you got any tips, tricks, things that we can share with the world, we'll go through and be glad to do it. It's a new experience for us, not keeping them, but breeding them. So, once again, we appreciate you guys. Thanks again for watching Sanders Aquatics.